Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Galaxies Emulator University lesson number 1 of the course 101 The Basics. The purpose of this video is to teach you everything you need to know to get started playing as soon as possible. This video won't be going into the finer details of the individual classes and gameplay. This video is intended to get you playing. When you finish this video, you should be able to exit out of YouTube and start having fun and worry about the rest later. To start with, what is the Star Wars Galaxies emulator? A lot of people are returning players, or players that did not play the original version of Star Wars Galaxies. I won't go too far into detail into this, but this game was out before World of Warcraft, and when World of Warcraft came out, they introduced some game changes. These changes are known as the CU, the Combat Upgrade, and the NGE, the New Game Experience. I'm not going to be touching those subjects. There's a lot of videos. I'll include some links in the description to some good descriptions of that and what those were if you'd like more information. But it's important to talk about those for those of you who are returning and have no idea what's going on, don't know how to play anymore, because those upgrades made some significant changes. And that's the whole point of the Star Wars Galaxies emulator. It is a reinstatement of the original version, and the people who play here are enthusiasts of the original version of the game. And so, this video is really for the people that probably never played before, or most likely played back or in the live server days when SOE was still running it, and it was the newer version of the game. And so this is a crash course on how to play the new version. So first, let's start with character classes. Classes have changed in Star Wars Galaxies. If you were familiar with the old version, it was a lot like World of Warcraft, where you started at level 1 and you worked your way up to 80. You would go to individuals, they would have quests for you, and then you would complete the quests and go to the dungeons, and it was a lot like any other MMO. But here in the original version, we have a profession system, and it works kind of like if you've ever played a MMO with a multi-class system. You can mix and match all these professions to suit your different gameplay style needs. For starters, there are the basic professions. These ones over here are the basic professions, and these professions here all build up to or build together to these professions over here, which are called elite and hybrid professions. We'll get into those in just a moment. For starters, you've got your artisan. Your artisan is your character that will go on to be all manner of crafting, everything crafting. Your brawler is going to be the class you want to start as. If you want to do melee style classes like Terrace Kasi, which is a hand-to-hand combat, or fencer swordsman, or others like that. Entertainer, that's a very special and unique class to Star Wars Galaxies, but we'll touch more on that later. For now, we're going to move on to Marksman. Marksman is all your ranged classes, your riflemen and pistoliers and all that. All the classes here are going to be involve some sort of firearm or gun or ranged weapon. We won't be covering politician. Almost skipped over medic. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Everything healing and also buffing, which buffing is very important in this game, and we're going to touch on that and be more specific about that later. Then you got Scout. Scout's an interesting class in itself. I won't talk too much about Scout, but as you can see, there's some classes that require some of the skills from Scout to to move on. So those are our basic professions, and now, excuse me, we're going to go on to our elite professions and our hybrid professions. Now, the difference between an elite profession and a hybrid profession is an elite profession is when you advance from one tree or skill, and a hybrid profession requires two different basic professions to be mixed together. So let's go ahead and look at, let's say, rifleman. Rifleman is an elite profession. And as you can see, you can become a rifleman by working your way up only through this rifle tree here. And then if I wanted to be a hybrid profession, like a bounty hunter, it requires both some stuff from Scout. It requires the exploration tree from Scout. And it also requires Master Marksman. You have to Master Marksman. Now, let's talk a little bit more about this. You can only master so much. You can't be everything. You have only so many skill points. So let's say I wanted to be a bounty hunter, and I'm going to click here. This is the skill builder program here, so you can the skill tree simulator here. It's included with the Star Wars Galaxy's SwgEmu Launchpad. It's one of the tabs there. I'll go ahead and show you where that is at on the Launchpad. Here we go. Oops. Now we're taking a look. This is the Launchpad. This is where you're going to get your emulator updates and all that stuff, but I'm not going to be talking about that. But right here, this is where your profession calculator would be if you want to mess around with this. So back to the calculator. I'm going to be a Master Bounty Hunter, and you see I only have 81 points left. And I also want to be a Combat Medic, but it takes Master Medic to be that, and I don't have enough points, so there's some things that you can't do. There's some combinations don't work because they take up too many points. Also, I'm going to talk about right now which one of these classes, basic professions, should you start with? Well, you should start with a combat profession, because one of the big mistakes, one of the things that makes Star Wars Galaxies, the emulator or original version, really unique, is that you can only get experience by doing directly the thing that you want to level up. To be more clear about that, if I wanted to level up in Marksman, I want to level up my rifle and become a rifleman, I need to, if I take my mouse off this, you can't see it, but if you look right in this area right here, when I hover over it, you'll see that it says it requires 1,000 rifle weapon experience. Now, that means I can't just go and kill anything and with a pistol or a unarmed combat and then use those combat experience to level up my rifle. You can't do that. If you want to level up rifle, you have to use a rifle. And if you want to be a medic and you want to increase your ability to perform heals or buffs, you need to heal people to get medical experience here. So, when you get into the game, you're going to find that when you want to level up your medic, you have to use med packs. You have to craft those med packs, and those cost money, and there's no real way for medics to go out and complete missions and make money. So, you're going to find that it's going to be a painstaking grind. It's going to take a long time to master medic, whereas if you would have started with a combat character, and combat characters get money pretty quick completing missions, so you become a combat character and make good money doing a combat character, and then you use that money to fund your medic or your artisan. And then you end up being able to master medic tenfold faster than if you would have just started out and had an unfunded medic. And the same thing goes with artisan. Starting the game off as an artisan is not really the best idea, because you're going to need money to buy the materials to make your items. You're going to need money to harvest those materials and all kinds of stuff. But so I'm not going to get too deep into the individual classes, but I'll tell you that artisan and entertainer, well, maybe not entertainer, but definitely artisan and medic are two classes that are difficult to start with if you don't already have a well-established character that brings you in-game money credits. So you want to start with the marksman, and then more on the individual skills here. For artisan, you have to literally craft to get crafting experience. You can't just go out and kill some mobs and then use that experience to increase your crafting. So I think that's I forgot to touch on Jedi. Now you'll see over here that you've got like your force sensitive and force discipline classes here, and if you're new from the CU or NGE older SOE game experience, then you're used to being able to just start off as a Jedi, and you're just kind of probably wondering, well, how do I be a Jedi? How do I be a Jedi? And the truth is, for starters, it's not in the game right now in the EMU. There are plans for it to be in the emulator at another time. I don't know when that time's going to be, but I'll tell you that when it does get implemented, it's going to be very different from how you imagine, the Jedi that you played before. In the original version and in the Star Wars Galaxy's emulator, Jedi are what I would call a super class. They they have special privileges, and they're extra powerful, and it takes something special to be able to actually have a Jedi character. You had to unlock a force-sensitive character slot, and you would do that by, when you start your character, at random, 5 professions would be selected, 5 professions that you did not get to know what those professions were. And once you had mastered the 5 mystery professions, and they could be anything, then you would unlock your force-sensitive slot and get to be a Jedi. And but that's how that happened. There's more details, but I'm just gonna just go quickly over the surface of these things. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible and get you playing and having fun, and you could learn more about fine details later. So that should be it with the character builder. Let's go ahead and talk about character races. Now let's go to the character creator here. We're going to choose Basilisk. Looks like I waited too long to log in, maybe. I don't know. That's annoying. Alright, we're gonna jump cut to that part. Alright, now we're going to be talking about character races. Let's go ahead and go to the character creator to check out the different races. Now there's quite a few different races here, and they need to be mentioned because some of the races are more apt than others for certain things. For example, Mon Calamari are very good at being doctors and such, but they can't wear normal helmets. It kind of gets them at a huge disadvantage of being a warrior type character, not being able to wear a helmet or that kind of armor. I'm not going to go too far into this because you're probably already familiar with this if you're a previous player, but there's Wookiees have to wear special armor, Ithorians have to wear special armor, and I think that's the only special exceptions, but Rhodians make good medics, because you can see right here that you have not Rhodians, Mon Calamarians make good medics and doctors, because they've got a good stamina and mind bonus here. We'll talk about more of that pretty soon here. So let's go ahead. You can look at the different characters, like let's say Trandoshan. Yeah, they've got a good health buff that makes them a great combat character. So pick whatever you like, and we're going to talk a little bit about the character creator. It's pretty much like every character creator you've ever seen in other games. You click right here and change eye color. It's pretty cool, for the time when it came out. It was something extraordinary, but no, it's standard, run-of-the-mill. So I'm not going to be making a new character today. I've got a character that is new, that is already prepared for this lesson. Let's go ahead and log in with this character. And then we're going to go ahead and cut to when the game is fully loaded, so we don't have to sit here and watch the load screen. Alright, we're in game, and we are fully loaded. For starters, let's talk about the HAM bar. This is called the Health, Action, and Mind bar. The red, health, green action, blue mind. These are unique to Star Wars Galaxies as well. If you're familiar with WoW or other kinds of traditional role-playing games, you're used to a health bar and a mana bar. Well, this game doesn't have those. They have these 3 bars, and if any one of these bars goes down to 0, then your character becomes incapacitated, and and can go on to die and so forth. But I'm not going to talk about that part just yet. Different classes and different weapons and abilities attack different trees of this, so you'll have to look into the different classes and so forth to learn more about what you would like to focus on attacking. But most things attack a combination, so you're gonna have to know about buffs. Buffs need to be covered. Buffs are just like you're familiar with in other role-playing games. They enhance your stats, but in this game, they are extremely important. They are mandatory. Especially, and they become mandatory very early in the game. You can go without buffs for a little while, but you're going to need buffs pretty soon. So in Star Wars Galaxies, health and action buffs are given to you by doctors, and mind buffs are given to you by entertainers. And so normally we would have to complete a few missions first, but to save up enough money to pay the doctor for his buffing services. But for the purpose of this video, I'm kind of fast forwarded to the part where I have enough money to buy a buff, and I'll show you how the buffing process is done, so you'll know how to get one when you're ready for one. So let's start by going to our inventory. I have it bound to I, but it's down in here. If you don't know where the key's bound, and I don't need to be in my inventory. I need to be in my data pad. I know that's right there. Let's go to the data pad and go to data. And if you're just starting out in your inventory, you'll have a little square. It says deed for speeder, X31 land speeder. And you're going to use the deed, and you're going to get yourself a speeder. You get it when you spawn. Everybody starts off with this speeder here. You enter the vehicle. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be heading to the medical center. If you're a doctor, you cannot heal certain kinds of wounds. Well, you just can't heal wounds. What wounds are is we'll talk about those in another video. I'll try to keep this shorter. So in order to have your wounds healed, you have to be in a medical facility or in a camp. We'll talk about camps in other videos. And also to receive a buff, you have to be in either a camp or in a medical center. So the doctors are always hanging out in the medical centers. Here's the map that I have it bound to map, and you can see the medical center on the map if you read those little letters there. So we're going to go into the medical center. We're going to see if there's any doctors around here for us to get a buff from. There's usually quite a few around this time. Let's see, we got a master doctor over here. That's good. And we're gonna go get our buff from him, and we're gonna. It looks like these guys are waiting in line as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward to the part where it's our turn. But first I'll get out of the way exactly how this is gonna work. To pay your doctor here, what they do is you have to transfer money to them. If I go into my inventory, you'll see I have cash and I have bank money. Now, if I don't have cash on me, you usually get paid in bank. Then you have to be able to send the money a different way, because most people keep the money in bank. This was an old system they took out early in the game where if you had cash on you and you died, you'd have to go back and get it, and they kind of abandoned that. So there's no real difference between cash and bank, except for when you send someone a tip from your bank instead of cash, it takes a 5% bank fee to send that. So when it's our turn, we'll go up to him and we'll type /tip and his name and the amount of money, and that would normally be how to tip him with cash. Now, if you want to tip him with bank, you need to type bank at the end of that. I'll show you how that works. Let's type /down. Oh, it looks like Johnny is ready. I wasn't sure if he was AFK or not, so I'll just hang back for just another second. Alright, there we go, it's our turn. I sent him to tell, and he started our buff over here. We've got our buff menu. And see, he didn't read, he said you have to send a tell. I'm going to tell him. And poor guy, yeah, I'd be pissed too. Puzzle over the current situation. That was a little emote I did. And let's tip the man /tip. His name is Olur. I'm gonna go ahead and tip him 5,000. And I'm gonna add bank at the end, so that way it will do the bank transfer. Hit that. Enter. See, a surcharge of 5%, and yes, and it was successfully sent to Orlu Saidi. I'm not sure, don't know how to spell it, but let me do another emote. There's a lot of emotes in this game. This game's very geared towards role players. It's very focused on that. So there we go. We got our full buff, all three of those, and we can look at our stat sheet. I think it is character sheet. Where is it? There it is, our character sheet, and you can see that we got our stats here, our health, and our sub categories, action sub categories for action, our mind and sub categories. You see right in here, here's our modifiers. It's a 1800 bonus to our health. You see up here, it's now our health dwarfs our our mind, and that's because we're in need of a mind buff here. So we're going to go ahead and head to the cantina to see the entertainers, and so we'll talk about entertainers. The main purpose of entertainers is to help give you that mind buff, and also you can see right here we have battle fatigue, If you play for a few hours, you'll gain up battle fatigue, and it will give negative modifiers against your stats. And if you watch an entertainer, it will relieve your battle fatigue, and you will be able to continue battling. As you can see, this is the center of communicating, hanging out, getting buffs and such. And it looks like we just lucked out. The group is almost full. That was close. So now we are going to get our mind buff from the entertainer. She's a master dancer and master musician, Ilulu. Let's see. I have made a special. Well, actually, that was another character. I'm going to edit this tab. I want to call it party. Let me make a party chat tab. And I want to have nothing but group messages and instant messages. Yes, that sounds good. And now I can see, let's see, it'll tell you that Ilulu is running a macro that automatically invites when you sit in this chair, and then she automatically tells you how long you need to watch and or listen to her to get the full buff. We're not listening right now because there's only just 60 seconds left in the musician buff here, and we're going to wait for her to start dancing. When she starts dancing, we're going to watch, and that is going to buff our mind, and the when we listen to her when she's done dancing, that's going to give a bonus to our focus and willpower. So I'm just going to wait here, and I'll show you how to start watching her and how to stop watching her and get that buff, and then I'll just cut to when we're done getting the buff, because this takes just a couple of minutes, and it doesn't need to be in the video. So she says that her music buff should be done now, and if you type/stop listening, then you'll get your buff. But you can also open up the radial menu by clicking and holding and clicking listen, or if you're already listening, it would say stop listening right where it says that right there now. So wonder if how full the group is still. I feel bad for all the people that can't get a mind buff. That's too bad. That's gonna be hard for them to adventure. There we go. She started dancing, and we're gonna watch. And it's that simple. We're gonna keep watching the party chat. You can see it in the regular chat too. It's blue, just like normal. But it's a lot easier to see it if you make like a party chat tab. So we're going to just keep our eye on this tab, and she'll let us know when it's almost done and when to stop watching and all that. And so I'm just going to go ahead and cut to when we're finishing the buff. Alright, here we are. She forgot to give us the 60-second warning right here for the end of our music buff. So she says the music buff should be complete, and I'll go ahead and stop listening. And I did the same thing for the dance, So now you can see over here we've got our mind buff. They're good for about 2 hours, and our doctor buffs are good for about almost 3 hours. That's why we get our doctor buffs first. There's also foods and things that you can eat to boost your stats. I recommend Varsarian brandy. It's a popular drink, and that is not my speeder. Let's see, where did she go? I think this is it. Alright, so yeah, you drink the Varsarian brandy. It gives you a mind bonus for 50 minutes. It's inexpensive, and it can be obtained pretty easily. Alright, so we have got our buffs. And sorry, just looking at my notes here real quick. We've got our buffs, and it is now time to go on our missions. Looks like I already have some missions selected, but I don't want that. I want to show you how to go get your own missions. So I'm going to go ahead and abort these. You can see them there in the data pad next to my land speeder. And I'm going to go ahead and go to a data pad, or not a data pad, a mission terminal. There's mission terminals all over the city. So there's one that I particularly like to go to. You'll probably pick your favorite. They're everywhere. They're in player-made cities. They're in every city. They're everywhere. These are the mission terminals. You don't have to get out, but a lot of people do. I guess it's a preference. But whoops, we almost forgot to leave the group here. So we're going to leave group, so that way people can get their buffs as well. And so we're going to enlist those missions. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to look at the world map here. And I'm over here. We're in Mos Eisley. And as you can see, we're west of the city. And so if we were to get missions going east, we would have to cross all the way through the city. It would be a pain. And if we got missions going 2 different directions, that would also make for a bigger pain, and takes longer to get more missions done. And get the more missions you can get done faster, and the more mobs you can kill, and the XP you can get, the better. So you should always try to get missions going the same way. And so we're gonna go and get missions going west. We got one for Valerian camp here. Let's go ahead and accept that. Let's refresh, and now we got another offer for one going west. It's a Womp Rat lair. Let's accept that. So, you can see did something happen. I think I forgot to. Yeah, I got two missions here. You can see on our world map. I have it bound to V, but you can also click here and see that map. I have a weird key binding, so you're gonna have to create your own controls. So the arrows disappeared, but they're still right there. You hover over it, you can see that the distance is 1,200 meters and shrinking. We're just gonna go ahead and go out into the wild yonder. Oops, accidentally did that. Go out into the wild yonder and complete some missions. I'm going to show you how the missions work. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this is kind of the game. There's grinding instead of actual quest completing. You do these missions over and over again, and you level up your character. Now this game is almost like Guild Wars, where it doesn't take forever to master a class. It takes a little bit of time, but it's definitely not as long as grinding to 70 or whatever on World of Warcraft. It's probably about half, if not a quarter, as long for each mastering an entire profession, like being an endgame character. The idea is that you can quickly get to being an endgame character, and then you get to have all the fun of going on the I suppose you would call them raids, but they're raids, and being involved in the guilds, and doing the PvP, and hurry up and get to the fun part of the game rather than having to do the 1 to 70. So you do these missions, and there's all different kinds of creatures and stuff, and you can go to different planets and try different missions for different kinds of creatures and such, and groups. Find where you like grinding best, grind your way to the top, and then start playing the game, having fun, building. These are all player-owned houses, making your craft, being rich, being the baddest PvPer on the block, whatever it is that is what you're looking to, what you enjoy in an MMO. That's you got to grind your way up by doing these missions. So once you get as close enough to the mission actually spawns, and the missions work this way. There's the lair, and then there is the creatures or mobs. If you attack the lair, all the mobs will attack you and probably kill you. And so you gotta have to pick off all the mobs and then attack the lair. Creature lairs spawn new mobs. So if you're looking for good XP, you should probably go with creature lairs, because after I kill these Womp Rats and attack this, more of these Womp Rats are going to be generated, and I'm going to get more experience rather than having to run into town and get more missions. Now the advantage to the player, NPC humanoid missions, they don't respawn, and you can just go and destroy that, and then you get paid a similar amount. So if you're looking to make your bank a little fuller, then I would go with the humanoid type missions. And if you want to go for more XP, I would go with attacking beast. So I'm gonna go ahead and this part should be self-explanatory. It's just like any other MMO, where you have your abilities. Each class has their own abilities. You have your command bar. You select your creature, and you attack him. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose this body shot. And he's dead already. I mean, that buff really makes a difference, but I think my pistol is a little too powerful for this demonstration. Let's go ahead and pick the weapon that you start with. This is the C Def pistol. This is the pistol you get when you spawn. So let's try this again. No, that's still powerful enough. I just nailed him. Wow, that's pretty. That's the the buffs I think are really having a big effect. And I'm just using a regular starter pistol. The smallest amount of damage you could possibly do. Oh wow, this one didn't die straight off the bat. Yeah, there. So I can see on the map here there's no more yellow dots, and I can tell it's safe to attack the layer. Now I'm going to have my finger on the clear button, so that way when the new mobs show up I can clear and push peace, because otherwise if I had not done that, when they spawn the whole group will attack me, and you can get killed pretty easily. So this is going a little too well. Normally it would take, you'd be going through the same process, but it would just take a little bit longer. You'd be sitting here, loading up your queue here, and, shooting, probably like 10 shots instead of just one. I'm a little more powerful than I thought I was. I thought I had this guy at a good level. I'm making a bounty hunter, not a bounty hunter. This character is going to be a pistolier and a combat medic, but the only thing I have right now is novice medic and pistol 1. So you're going to be starting out pretty much just right about there if you're a new player. So you should be just as powerful as me, but like I said, normally you're gonna have to see these missions pay about 1,000. A cheap buff is about 5,000 credits. I actually got my buff for free. Some doctors are kind enough to offer free buffs to noobs, or they buff and allow you to tip whatever you can. More experienced players, of course, are generous. And if you're a new player, then don't feel too bad about not being able to tip just yet. But if you're unlucky and you log in and you got a doctor that says he will only buff you if you pay, then you can just complete just a couple of these missions here and have enough credits to get your buff. And then once you've got your buff, you're gonna be ready to make that money back pretty quick. All right, so. See, I didn't push clear, and now they're all attacking me. It's okay, though, because how much more I'm kind of outnumbering them here. But I purposely took a really low-level mission here, just to show you how it works, and give you feel for how doing these missions works. Normally the more the mission pays, the more difficult. These ones only paid like 800 credits. You could probably handle ones that pay about 2,000 credits. Take the whatever you can handle. And those would be the missions I recommend. A lot of people they go for like the $10,000 10,000 credit missions, and it takes them a half an hour to do one mission because the creatures are so hard, when you could have gotten 4 missions done in that same half hour that each paid 5k, and then you made twice as much. So try to find something that's a good balance of not being too challenging, but still get it paying the credits that you need to get the training and so on that you need. Alright, so we finished one mission, And that's pretty much how missions work. They're all very similar to that. There is a I'm going to go ahead and just go back into town. And rather than doing this second mission I picked up, you can only pick up 2 missions at a time. So we're going to start heading back into town here. Anyways, that's how almost all the missions work. Either they have the mobs, and then there's the lair, and take out the mobs, take out the lair, rinse and repeat. And that's kind of the boring part about the Star Wars Galaxies, the grind. Nobody likes grinding, but really, what's the difference between going from character to character, and Johnny Stormwind needs you to collect 6 raccoon pelts, and then once you do all his missions, he sends you to Adam McCobb, who's needs you to get all the poisonous crabs off of his farm or whatever. I don't really see much of a difference between doing that and doing this grinding, because this mission grinding gives you the freedom to do whatever you want. You don't have to follow a set path. If I wanted to, I could just go to the starport and go to Naboo right now and say, hey, I'm bored of Tatooine. I feel like going to Naboo, and make that happen. I don't have to wait until a certain level to do that, and do whatever I want. So that's how you can mix up the missions, and there's a huge appeal. A lot of people here in Star Wars Galaxies Emulator like to roleplay. This game facilitates roleplay very well. There's just a lot of useless items, drapes and lamps and stuff, tons and tons of stuff for making your house look super cool, customizing your character and clothing, role-playing your character. If you like role-playing, Galaxies is it's the best role-playing game I've ever or the best MMO I've ever played that facilitated role-playing the best. Tons of really cool emotes and stuff. I like this. If you type, I'm going to go into chat and type : and then, is learning to play SWG. And, I accidentally said that in party. I feel dumb. Let's try that again. And we'll just, this time, we'll say, feels dumb. And you get this cool little thought bubble right here that says, Kichi, Twin Sun feels dumb. He's thinking to himself. And it's cool. So if you're into the role play, then you're going to enjoy Star Wars Galaxies. This is really a sandbox game that it's a make your own adventure, make your own fun. You're not the fun is not provided for you. It's like Legos. If you put a bunch of Legos on the ground in front of someone that had no imagination, Legos would be the stupidest toys in the world. So you just have to understand how to, if you know that you're supposed to be creative with Legos, and Legos, don't provide the experience for you, and you understand that, then you're going to have more fun with Legos. And that's how Galaxies is. You're going to have a lot more fun with Galaxies if you know that it's kind of a sandbox experience. So we did our mission, and I'm going to talk about now we've completed our mission. What do we do now that we've leveled up? Normally I'd keep playing until I'd keep shooting things with my pistol, and then I'd level up my pistols and get level 2. Now, it doesn't just automatically level up. I have to get it taught to me. So I can either have a player that already knows this teach it to me, which most people are more than happy to give you the skill, or I can go to an NPC and pay credits to have the skill taught to me. So I'm just going to show you where to find NPC trainers, and take this time to show you the /find ability. Anytime you're in a city like this, and you're a city you don't know, and you want to know where the cantina or the medical center is, or the trainer or the bazaar is, and you can't find it, go ahead and type the command /find. We type /find, and we can see all this stuff here, and we can see mission terminals. It'll take you to whichever one's the closest if you click this button. And we're going to go to trainer and marksman. Okay. And I kind of already knew the marksman was nearby here. And you get this waypoint, just like the mission. You can follow it, and you can see this blue thing on the map here. You should be able to see it. It's getting blocked out. Well, normally you see a blue thing on the map. So we're going to go ahead and go talk to our trainer. We have to be out of the vehicle to talk to this guy. And I haven't finished Pistols 2, but I already have range support ready. And that's just combat experience. This is one of the things that doesn't matter what kind of combat it is, you get a combat experience. So I could be doing carbines, rifles, or anything, and I get rifle experience and combat experience. So nonetheless, we don't need to go to the fine details of marksman. That'll be for other instruction. So we'll get you playing as fast as you can. So that skill's ready to learn. I'm going to go to the marksman trainer. I'm going to talk to him. I'm interested in learning a skill. I want to learn range support, and he says it's going to cost 1,000 credits, and I'm going to say yes. Now I know it. So we're looking at our skills, and it gave me aim and threaten, and now how do I use those abilities? I have to go to the abilities over here, and there's all kinds of commands that you can make, and this is where you could make macros. But you go to combat, and we just got the ability threaten shot right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and you hover, click on it, you can see through this ranged attack is useful for making skittish things flee from you. That's not a very good description, but over here's a better one. I guess so. It's a threaten shot, yeah. So threaten shot. So we'll go ahead and grab, and we'll bring it, and you can put it right on your bar here, or you can remove it. And and that's how you'll when you get leg shot from carbines, if you're mastering carbines, you'll need to move that over there, and then you'll be able to start using it. So next, you went on your mission, you leveled up your character, you got the skill, and you got it trained, and now you can use a new weapon. So right here it says we can use the DL44 pistol now, and as you go on, you can get access to different pistols. So let's say I just got Pistols 1, and I want to get me a DL44. So where do I get them? First of all, we're going to go to the Bazaar, and the Bazaar is kind of like a basic market of things to buy. You can't buy expensive things. There's a price gap on the Bazaar. So a lot of things like armor, endgame armor, and weapons and stuff are not sold here at this red box called the Bazaar. They are sold by player vendors. Player made vendors. People that are artisans can choose the merchant class, and merchants can make their own NPCs that sell their goods at their property. So you can go to the merchant, and they're usually in player-made cities. A lot of guilds, or in Star Wars Galaxies, they're called clans. A lot of clans have big buildings where all their clan members come together and make a mall of all kinds of items, and people shop there for their end-game goods. So, but for starting out here, and for a good portion of the game, you should be able to get everything you need right here at the Bazaar, including that Varsarian brandy I was talking about. So, let's go ahead and go to the Bazaar. And we're going to see a couple options here. Let's start with the location filter. This region means that if you purchase the item, it will go straight into your inventory, and you'll be able to use it. But let's say I want my DL44, but for some reason I'm on a city that doesn't have a whole lot of people, and there's no one's really selling any DL44s. So right here, I'm just going to go to let's go to something like special heavy weapons, where we can see, there's only so many of these flamethrowers, and we're in Mos Eisley right now. And let's say there wasn't any. I can go to this planet, and it shows me a list of all the heavy weapons that I've selected on this planet. And if I get one from you see, those are all from Eisley. If I get one that's from a different city, I have to go over to that city and pick it up. But I can still shop from here. Or I can go all the way up to the entire galaxy, and you can say there's plenty of flamethrowers on Corellia. So let's just say that I was looking for pistols and I wanted my DL44, and there was a DL44 on Corellia. I could purchase it here, and then it would give me, it would tell me that I would have to go to the bazaar and pick it up there to be able to obtain my item, so I could shop anywhere in the galaxy. So that is how bazaars and vendors work. Let's just go over a little bit of the basics of how items work. So we're just going to look at the pistols, and we are going to look at regular little CDEF pistols. The most important things to look at is what type of damage it does. Some creatures are resistant to some kinds of damage, like some creatures are resistant to flame damage. Some creatures are resistant to kinetic damage, or some creatures are resistant to energy and can only be have a huge resistance and have to be shot instead of attacked physically. So you want to know what type of weapon it is. Energy and kinetic tend to work on everything. But then you want to look at the minimum and maximum damage. It's going to kind of dice roll to do how much damage it's going to be, and then your attack speed. You want to be really careful to keep your eye on it. These can vary greatly, because if you have a pistol here that does 37 damage and a second pistol that also does 37 damage but shoots at an attack speed of only 3 every 3 seconds, it's going to be in fact more damage than one that shot slower. So be careful to watch the attack speed, and the amount of damage are the main things when you want to look at, just for the basics. But when you start getting into advanced gameplay and start going for like Night Sisters on I think they're on lock, and certain NPC or mobs that are very powerful, you might want to be careful not to take the wrong weapon there. So that should conclude all the stuff you need to know about the bazaar. So the last thing I'm going to be talking about in this introduction video, and I think you will be ready to be cut loose into the galaxy and be able to play and have fun. I do recommend there will be more instructional videos from Star Wars Galaxy's SwgEmu University later on finer details and other things in the future. But for now, the last thing that I think you're going to need to know to be able to effectively level up your combat character here is what is called solo grouping. Now, you notice that when I went over to the mission terminal, it gave me missions from about 900 credits to about 2,000 credits. The mission terminal offers you missions based on your personal stats, and as you could see, I obliterated that mission that only paid 900 credits, and I barely have any skills at all. So where do I get more challenging missions? Well, there's this thing called solo grouping. People get into a group with other players and don't even play with each other. Their combined ability to or their combined stats gives them access to higher paying missions, and the higher paying missions give you more money, and not just more money, but the NPCs, the creatures and things that you're going to want to take down are going to pay way more experience, and you're going to level up way faster, 5 times faster, 10 times faster in a solo group than you would playing on your own and not in a group. Now, what a lot of people do is, you can see only a couple people are actually in the cantina. Look at all these people that are still in the group that we grouped with just a little while ago to get our mind buff. Now, this is considered to be a underhanded tactic, and you can even see that the entertainer in her macro tells us that we should leave the group when we are done getting our mind buffs, so that way everybody can have a good time and adventure. But but a lot of people will use this as their own personal solo group. You should not do this, and the university does not condone this behavior. But if there's room in the group and people can still get their buffs, then there shouldn't be a problem with it. So the university officially says that you should not use mind buff or dancer groups as your own personal solo group. But if you do, the honorable thing to do is to, when the group gets full, is to leave the group. So that way everybody has a fair shot at getting their mind buff. So that's it. That is lesson 1. I covered all the topics. Please visit the Star Wars Galaxy's EMU University forum at SwgEmu university.boards.net. SwgEmu university.boards.net. There's a section there where we ask people to let us know what videos you want to see. This is also a YouTube video. Please leave in the comments what instructions you would like to receive in the future on how to play. This video has been presented by the Star Wars Galaxy's Emulator University. We are a game clan, or otherwise called a guild in other games, that focuses on teaching new or returning Star Wars Galaxy's players the basics and get them playing. We want to see more people playing Star Wars Galaxies, and this is a game that has a tough learning curve, and the Star Wars Galaxy Emulator clan is their mission is to help you learn to play the game. And also, we are a full-featured clan that has regular clan events, so there's no need to take off once you're done learning. Stick around and be a part of the community, and host your own events and have a good time. Thank you for watching this video. Also, before I go, please, while you're at the forum, go to the section that tells us about what videos you'd like to see. I think I already mentioned that, but I had to make sure. So, thank you. That concludes our class. You can all go home now.